Which razor has surprised you the most this year? I'll tell you mine on the other side.
Welcome to Mully Shaves.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to December 2nd here in Japan, and welcome back to Shave of the Day. Well, since I am in dedicated December, you know what I'm shaving with if you watched me yesterday. My shave of the day was Old Spice vintage puck in the mug, in the Old Spice mug, with a vintage Ever Ready boar bristle brush with a 24 millimeter Boti 2-band or 3-band boar knot. Yesterday I said badger. I mistakenly said badger. I meant boar. And the Gillette Fat Boy. Continuing with the Astra Blue blade on its 5th shave. No problems. It was comfortable. No big deal. All right. Just before I asked you which razor surprised you the most this year. For myself, I think it's going to have to be probably the Yates winning. I had high hopes for that when I ordered it. And the first time I used it, I got a really good shave off of it. But then I was kind of not able to get a good shave off of it after that. I don't know why. And oddly enough, that time that I got the good shave off of it, I used a blade that I'm not fond of, the Astra Green. But it worked well in that razor. So when I came back to it and used Astra Greens again, got a pretty decent shave. So I guess there was a reason Jake packed Astra Greens with it. Anyway, I think that one surprised me the most because I didn't like it at the beginning and then kind of grew on me. Now, I do also have the Yaqi Tile, which is basically a clone of that. And I got good shaves off of that, better than the Yates. Now, the Yates has these little ridges down the side of the cap. And those ridges are supposed to reduce the suction on your face, but it doesn't. Now, I don't know how the first one was, but I do have a Henson, which is basically the same thing in a different material. And I don't see much difference in the suction on the two of them. So there's that. But, you know, it's a good razor. I think Razor Emporium's making them now. Didn't Matt announce that they're coming out with them again soon, if they're not out already? So there's that. Definitely worth a try. The angle's built in, so aren't any tricks to it. Yeah, so there's that. Anyway, the story I wanted to tell you guys today was back in 2008, 2009, whenever it was, there was a strain of the flu going around that was killing a bunch of people. And I think it was called the A-type influenza or some crap like that. I don't remember. In Japanese, the A-ngata influenza. Anyway, my school does yearly trips to Australia. And they actually canceled that year because of that flu. Because so many people were dying from it. They didn't want to risk, taking the kids down to Australia and something happening. So anyway, one morning I woke up and I had a fever. I didn't really feel bad. I just had a fever, and I was like, I'll take the day off because I probably shouldn't be around the kids with a fever. So I called school, and the school told me, the school asked me, said, "Are you going to the doctor?" And I said, "Nah, I'm all right." So I don't really feel too bad. It's just this fever. I don't think I should be around the kids. And they said, "Well, we want you to go to the doctor because of this A-ngata influenza. Just to check to be sure." So I went to the doctor's office, and when I got to the doctor, the nurse came out, asked me what my symptoms were. I told her I had a fever, but I feel just fine, blah 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 blah, same story. She tells me to wait. So anyway, The way my doctor's office is laid out is when you walk in the front door, the counter is right in front of you. The nurses are facing you. And then there's two examination rooms off to each side. And then at the far end, there's the place where they draw blood and blood pressure and all that other crap. Okay, anyway, in the back of the building, behind those rooms, there's it's open back there, so the doctor can walk all the way between the rooms. All right, so that's all open back there. Anyway, so they call me into the doctor's office, and I'm sitting there on the chair, right in front of the doctor, you know how it is. And they did that thing where they stuck that long Q-tip up my nose. Got a sample, and the two nurses were standing at the back of the room. I guess they had a little machine that they check the mucus with. Is that what it is? They collect mucus? Anyway, so they're standing back there talking while that's running its little test or whatever. And I'm sitting there talking with the doctor. And suddenly one of the nurses says, it's positive. And both of those nurses went running out of the room. One went one way, one went the other. And the doctor hopped up out of his chair and he ran out. And they left me sitting there all by myself. Scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh my God, what have I got? I feel fine. What's wrong? And I'm like, is this the calm before the storm? Am I going to die? So about 2 minutes later, a nurse comes back in, and she's got a mask on, and she's carrying a mask. So she puts the mask on me, and she tells me she says, give me your money and go wait in your car. So I gave her my money, and I went and waited in the car, and she came out, and I saw her scurry across the street to the drugstore. And then when she came out of the drugstore, she came over to my car. She had my prescription and my change. So she took care of everything for me. And they told me that once my fever breaks, wait 3 days and I can go back to work. I think they prescribed me Tamiflu. Is that what it was called? Tamiflu. Anyway, so actually my fever broke that next day. Now I remember this was a Monday. And I remember it was a Monday because my fever broke on Tuesday, and then I had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. So I got a full week and weekend. I got a full week off for a day and a half fever, and I didn't feel bad the entire time. Didn't have any achy, breaky heart or anything like that. Just, a little rundown, but that was about it. Wasn't anything to write home about. But you know what? Same thing as when I got COVID. Just wasn't anything. So I was perfectly fine. And the thing is, I'm, overweight and diabetic and high blood pressure and all this. And these things are supposed to take me out. And they were nothing. Nothing. You can't beat the mommy. Anyway, so that's my story. You guys have any interesting stories like that? Funny stories? Excuse me. Anyway, I guess I will leave you guys. Oh, man, this is a long one. Sorry about that. All right, guys, we will leave you with that. This is the shave of the day, and we will see you again on Thursday. Tomorrow's my day off, so we don't do a video on that day. So I'll see you guys on Thursday. You guys have a great night wherever you're at, and we'll talk soon. I guess we'll call that a shave. Y'all stay smooth.